Just when the internet thought the Kandi Burruss and Todd Tucker divorce couldn't possibly get any more chaotic, the story took a turn that no one, absolutely no one, saw coming. For weeks, fans were convinced they were witnessing a familiar narrative, a marriage falling apart under the weight of stress, work, and emotional distance. They saw the tears, the trembling hands, the raw vulnerability from Kandi that made millions rally behind her during the early stages of this split. But everything changed the moment Todd released a claim so shocking, so emotionally charged, and so deeply personal that social media erupted in a way even celebrity divorces rarely provoke. Because according to Todd, allegedly, Kandi is the reason for his mental health collapse. And whether people believe him or not, the accusation flipped the narrative so violently that the internet still hasn't regained its balance. Let's start with the moment that changed everything. Kandi's divorce filing was already a bombshell. Fans were analyzing every sentence, every detail, every possible implication of what could have pushed their marriage to the edge. But within hours of that filing going public, Todd, who had been silent until now, dropped his statement claiming that his mental health had deteriorated because of Kandi's alleged emotional neglect. The statement spread across social platforms so fast that even major entertainment outlets couldn't keep up. Within minutes, Twitter threads multiplied, Instagram pages posted reaction videos, TikTok creators went live mid-sentence to discuss it, and Reddit exploded into full-scale analysis mode. Whether people believed the claim or not didn't matter in that moment. The internet finally had something to fight about. And the fight grew instantly, because this wasn't a small accusation. Todd wasn't alleging miscommunication or disagreements or the usual cracks that form in a marriage under public pressure. No, he was alleging that Kandi's behavior contributed to his emotional decline. And that accusation, in the court of public opinion, is massive. It challenges the image fans have had of Kandi for years. The strong, composed, hardworking woman who seemed to keep everything together no matter what life threw at her. Now, suddenly, Todd was painting her as the catalyst of his collapse. Whether true or not, the allegation alone was enough to tilt the entire internet on its axis. Almost immediately, fans from all corners of the entertainment world scrambled to reassess the relationship they thought they understood. For years, the public had seen Kandi as the steady anchor in the marriage, the one juggling projects, managing businesses, supporting her family, and pushing through unbelievable pressure. Whenever she cried publicly, fans saw exhaustion. Whenever she broke down on camera, they saw vulnerability. And whenever she stood up for Todd, defending him against rumors and criticism, fans saw loyalty. So how could the same woman now be accused of being the cause of Todd's alleged emotional breakdown? This led people to rewatch old clips through an entirely new lens. Scenes from reality shows, interviews, behind-the-scenes footage, even casual social media moments were suddenly being scrutinized like evidence in a case. Fans slowed down clips to analyze facial expressions, tone changes, awkward silences, moments when Todd's body language looked tense or disconnected. Some viewers argued that Todd seemed irritated or diminished in certain scenes, while others insisted these were normal married couple interactions blown wildly out of proportion by internet detectives hungry for drama. But the fact that people were looking that deeply, that alone showed how drastically Todd's accusation shifted the public mindset. Then came the leaks, screenshots, alleged voice notes, and anonymous insider claims that poured gasoline on an already uncontrollable fire. One of the most viral clips was a short, muffled audio recording that many people claimed was Todd saying, "I tried to tell her. She didn't listen." To this day, no one has verified the authenticity of that audio. Some tech-savvy users said it sounded AI-generated. Others argued it matched Todd's tone and cadence perfectly. Regardless of whether the clip was real or fabricated, the effect it had was immediate and intense. Fans who believed Todd used it as proof that he had been trying to communicate his struggles for years. Critics who doubted Todd said the audio felt conveniently timed, suspiciously edited, or engineered to sway public opinion. The internet wasn't just divided, it was polarized. Meanwhile, in the middle of this storm, Kandi remained mostly silent. She didn't respond directly to the accusations, didn't post a long statement, didn't defend or deny. But one small behind-the-scenes clip surfaced where she sat quietly in a chair, red-eyed and exhausted, whispering, "I just need a minute." That clip became the internet's emotional centerpiece. Kandi's supporters said it showed the toll the accusations were taking on her. Opponents insisted, emotional exhaustion doesn't equal innocence.
In other words, the internet made up its mind before Kandi said a single word. As fans debated, two major narratives emerged, narratives that completely contradicted each other. On one side were Todd's defenders, claiming he felt overshadowed and unheard while Kandi's career skyrocketed. According to unverified sources, Todd allegedly confided that he felt invisible, like the marriage had turned into a brand rather than a partnership. People pointed to interviews where he seemed tense, distant, or withdrawn. Fans argued he might have been silently drowning under the weight of expectations, especially being married to someone as publicly powerful and accomplished as Kandi. But then came the other side, the equally strong, equally emotional defense of Kandi. Supporters said she had carried not only her own responsibilities, but the weight of the entire family. They reminded everyone that Kandi never hesitated to shut down accusations that Todd was using her or benefiting financially from her success. They pointed out that she defended him, even when fans and even her own family questioned his intentions. They argued that if Todd felt neglected, it wasn't because Kandi didn't care. It was because she was too busy holding everything together while he gradually disengaged. Both perspectives felt real. Both sounded plausible. And that ambiguity made the situation even more explosive. Then, the internet was hit with another twist. A screenshot allegedly from Todd's Notes app reading, "I can't keep pretending I'm okay. She doesn't even notice anymore." Immediately, people questioned the font, the timestamp, the formatting, everything. Some said it had been doctored, others insisted it was authentic. And while the screenshot has never been verified, it spread so quickly that it became part of the public narrative whether anyone wanted it to or not. Kandi's supporters argued the timing was too convenient. Todd's supporters argued the message revealed the depth of his struggle, and both sides used it as evidence to build their case even without confirmation. This is the danger of leaks and celebrity scandals. Truth is optional. Virality is guaranteed. What made the situation even murkier was the flood of conflicting insider reports. Some claimed Todd had emotionally checked out of the marriage long before Kandi filed anything. Others said Todd's emotional collapse only occurred when he realized Kandi was truly walking away. Other insiders insisted Kandi had no idea Todd was struggling at all, suggesting she believed they were growing apart naturally, not collapsing under emotional pain. Then came the blurry backstage video of Kandi pacing slowly with swollen eyes, whispering, "I just need to understand why he did this." She didn't mention Todd's name, but fans instantly assumed she was referring to the accusation. That clip went viral, with viewers calling it raw, heartbreaking, and revealing. But Todd's supporters countered with another clip showing Todd quietly telling friends, "She doesn't know what I've been going through. I tried to tell her." His calm tone sparked even more debate. Was he deeply hurt or already emotionally detached? At this point, the internet wasn't discussing a divorce anymore. They were dissecting two human beings' pain like a psychological case study. When Todd stepped back from social media, his team said he needed to protect his mental health. Critics claimed he was avoiding accountability. Supporters said he was overwhelmed. Meanwhile, Kandi stayed active online, posting about work and daily life, but never addressing the accusations directly. That silence allowed fans to interpret whatever they wanted. Some said she was taking the high road. Others said she was hiding something. Others believed she was too hurt to speak. And some argued she might be gathering evidence for legal reasons. Then came a third leak, an alleged text exchange showing one person saying, "You never listened to me," and the other responding, "I didn't know you were hurting that much." Unverified, unconfirmed, and yet it became part of the story because the internet loves any piece of the puzzle, real or not. By now, the divorce had evolved into something much bigger than two people going their separate ways. It became a psychological war, fought not only between Kandi and Todd, but among millions of fans online. People weren't looking for understanding, they were looking for a villain. And Todd's mental health claim gave everyone a target, depending on which side they chose to believe. However, Kandi herself has admitted that this process has been emotionally challenging. Some days she's fine, going about her life, laughing with friends and maintaining appearances. Other days, however, the weight of sadness, disappointment, and grief hits her hard. It's a reminder that even those who appear successful, happy, and untouchable on camera are still human, still navigating deeply personal struggles. And now, with the divorce public, all eyes are on them, dissecting every Instagram post, every public appearance, and every cryptic comment. Fans and observers alike are trying to piece together the story of what truly happened, and the speculation has reached a fever pitch.
Kandi and Todd are officially separating, and the legal filings make it clear that this divorce is about far more than just emotional distance. According to public records, they have been legally separated since July 15, 2025, which suggests that Kandi's decision was deliberate, considered, and planned over months, if not years. She has described this as an emotional yet necessary step, emphasizing her desire to protect her peace, prioritize her children, and focus on her personal growth. She has asked for privacy and understanding, a request that highlights the tension between public curiosity and the real human cost of such a high-profile separation. Even though Kandi has remained relatively discreet about the specifics, observers have been quick to speculate. Many believe that a combination of factors contributed to the split. Distance, infrequent intimacy, conflicting priorities, family interference, and the pressures of managing multiple businesses while maintaining a high-profile marriage. One thing is clear: the marriage was complicated long before the announcement, and the public drama we see now is just the tip of the iceberg. Perhaps the most widely discussed theory among fans is the role of their unconventional marriage structure. Kandi has long been open about her fluidity and her willingness to explore alternative relationship dynamics, including the occasional involvement of third parties. She confirmed on multiple occasions, including in interviews and on her show Kandi Coded, that she and Todd engaged in threesomes and that such arrangements were intended to maintain excitement in their marriage. Some fans argue that this arrangement may have contributed to the tension, creating blurred lines, jealousy, or unspoken emotional complications. Others suggest that this openness was a symptom, not a cause of the underlying issues. There is also speculation surrounding Fatum Alfred, a person Kandi and Todd were reportedly spending significant time with, including trips and holiday gatherings. While nothing has been confirmed, fans have theorized that this individual may have been involved in the couple's intimate life, further complicating boundaries and expectations. While we must be careful not to treat rumors as fact, it is clear that fans are attempting to connect dots based on public appearances and interactions, which underscores the level of scrutiny this couple has been under for years. Another critical factor in the marriage appears to have been the couple's busy schedules and geographical separation. Kandi and Todd often spend extended periods in different states, managing business ventures, family obligations, and personal commitments. Kandi herself admitted that their physical intimacy had dwindled to roughly once a week, which she openly described as insufficient for a healthy, connected marriage. This revelation went viral, sparking discussions about how distance and busy schedules can erode even the most seemingly solid relationships. It is not uncommon for couples in high-pressure careers to experience similar challenges. The combination of physical distance, emotional fatigue, and competing priorities can create a sense of disconnection that is difficult to repair. For Kandi and Todd, this dynamic appears to have been exacerbated by other stressors, including disagreements over money, family interference, and differing expectations of partnership and support. The cumulative effect was a marriage in which each partner increasingly felt isolated, underappreciated, and disconnected from the other. One cannot discuss Kandi and Todd's relationship without addressing Mama Joyce, Kandi's mother, who has been a consistent presence throughout their time together. Mama Joyce has publicly criticized Todd from the beginning, questioning his intentions, accusing him of opportunism, and criticizing his work ethic. She repeatedly expressed doubts about his financial stability, his respect for Kandi, and his ability to be a reliable partner and father. According to reports, Mama Joyce's criticisms were relentless, often spilling over into public feuds with Todd and affecting family dynamics. She reportedly accused him of being too frugal, not a proper provider, and even speculated about infidelity. The tension between Todd and Mama Joyce created a constant source of stress for Kandi, who was caught between defending her husband and maintaining her relationship with her mother. This kind of ongoing familial pressure can erode trust and patience over time, and for many observers, it may have been a critical factor in the eventual breakdown of the marriage. Kandi has stated that she believes Todd should respect her mother, which may have unintentionally placed him in a position where he was continually judged and criticized. For a man already navigating the pressures of a high-profile marriage and business responsibilities, this additional layer of scrutiny may have contributed to feelings of inadequacy or resentment. Another dimension of this divorce involves money, legal protections, and the infamous prenup. Kandi's prenup was designed to protect her substantial assets, including her homes, businesses, royalties, and long-term income streams. The agreement reportedly required Todd to vacate the shared home within 30 days of separation and prevented him from claiming her pre-existing assets. While this prenup is standard for high-net-worth individuals, it may have contributed to underlying resentment and a perceived imbalance of power in the marriage. According to reports, Todd did not want to file for divorce first because he may be seeking alimony, and in Georgia, the higher-earning spouse can be ordered to provide support. Todd has also claimed that selling his New Jersey apartment left him without stable housing, which could support requests for temporary financial assistance during the divorce proceedings. The combination of Kandi's legal protections and Todd's potential claims introduces a complex layer to the divorce that goes beyond emotional disputes, highlighting the financial intricacies that accompany high-profile separations.
To understand why this marriage ultimately fell apart, we have to look back to the beginning. Kandi and Todd met in 2011, while Todd was working as a producer on Real Housewives of Atlanta. During a cast trip to South Africa, Todd pursued Kandi despite the potential risk to his career. A healer during that trip even allegedly told Kandi that her future husband was present on the journey, a detail she later reflected on with the mix of awe and incredulity. They began dating, became engaged in 2013, and married in 2014. At first glance, this might have seemed like a fairy tale. A Grammy-winning songwriter, a savvy businesswoman, and a rising television producer falling in love. However, from early on, there were red flags. Todd reportedly entered the relationship with differing expectations, and over time, small tensions grew into persistent issues. Conflicting ambitions, differing approaches to work and family, and varying levels of commitment gradually undermined the marriage's foundation. A major issue in the marriage appears to have been intimacy, both physical and emotional. Kandi admitted that their sexual connection had significantly diminished, and this lack of closeness may have exacerbated feelings of distance and disconnection. For many couples, intimacy is a measure of emotional connection and vulnerability. When that connection is missing, resentment and frustration often build. Todd reportedly struggled to feel seen and appreciated within the marriage, while Kandi was balancing the demands of business, motherhood, and family expectations.
some observers believe that their attempts to maintain excitement, including consensual threesomes and other explorations, were ultimately insufficient to bridge the growing emotional gap. In other words, these measures may have provided temporary distractions, but they could not repair the underlying incompatibility and unresolved tensions that had developed over years. So, who is really responsible for the breakdown of this marriage? Fans and commentators have speculated endlessly. Some blame the open marriage and blurred boundaries, others blame distance and overcommitment to work, while still others point to Mama Joyce's relentless criticisms or Todd's alleged opportunism. Money, expectations, and emotional disconnect are also frequently cited as contributing factors. The truth is likely a combination of all these elements. High-profile marriages are complicated, and the pressures of public life, financial disparities, family dynamics, and personal expectations create an environment where even minor issues can escalate into major conflicts. Kandi and Todd's marriage, despite its successes and accomplishments, seems to have been undermined by a series of unresolved issues that compounded over time. Kandi has emphasized that her priority is co-parenting their children with love and respect. Todd's legal filings indicate that the divorce is far from a simple, amicable separation, with potential disputes over alimony, custody, and asset division. As fans, we can only observe and speculate, but one thing is clear. This divorce is the culmination of years of tension, misaligned expectations, and personal differences. The story of Kandi and Todd is not just about money, fame, or scandal. It is a story about human relationships, the challenges of balancing personal ambition with partnership, and the reality that even those who appear strong and unshakable are vulnerable to the complexities of love, family, and personal growth. For Kandi, this may be a chance to reclaim peace and prioritize her family. For Todd, it may be a moment to redefine his identity and focus on stability and personal fulfillment. The truth, however, is that emotional disconnect doesn't always come with dramatic arguments or clear signs. It sometimes grows quietly, slowly, invisibly. Sometimes two people drift apart without realizing how far they've gone until one finally breaks. And when the public only sees fragments, clips, leaks, screenshots, they end up creating entire narratives out of incomplete information, which is exactly what's happening here. Now that we've broken down every angle, every accusation, every leak, every contradictory insider claim, I want to hear from you, because nothing we've seen so far confirms the real truth. These are pieces of a puzzle that still isn't complete. And whether you believe Todd's claim, think Kandi pushed him to an emotional breaking point, or is this a last-minute attempt to shift blame now that the marriage is officially ending, your perspective shapes how this story evolves online. So, tell me in the comments. Do you believe Todd's claim? Do you think Kandi pushed him to an emotional breaking point? Or is this a last-minute attempt to shift blame now that the marriage is officially ending? Drop your thoughts below. Team Kandi, Team Todd, or Team we still don't know anything for sure. And if you want the next chapter the minute it drops, the new leaks, the behind-the-scenes whispers, the screenshots people aren't supposed to see, hit like, smash subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss what comes next. Because trust me, this story is far from over. The biggest twist hasn't even hit the internet yet. Stay tuned, stay locked in, and stay ready. The next leak could flip everything all over again.